All right. So we were just doing a little chat lesson around sheeting and trimming the Gennaker. Now we're in very light wind, okay? What's our wind speed, Knut?
8 knots.
8 knots. All right, so look, we're moving, it's fun, it's great. It's absolutely fantastic. 8 knots true. So look, cool. And we're moving. We must be doing 4.5? 3 knots. 3.5, whatever. All right, so very commonly, and as I was saying to Knut, this is my wife's favorite position when we're sailing and racing, is to be trimming the kite like this. So with the Gennaker, with the spinnaker, all of it on the sheet, we're constantly wanting to ease it and have it fill up, and then when we get that curl, we pull it back in a bit. Letting the kite breathe, easing it out. When it curls, bring it in a bit. Now, if you're in heavier wind and I can't pull it by hand myself, we'll have a grinder. This is free of the self-tailer. All right, we'll have a grinder on that winch with the handle in, and when I call grind, they'll help me out with that, and they'll grind. On the helm, Knut's watching it as well. If the grinder and the sheeter have trouble getting that curl back, he will do a little bear away, opening the sail angle up, opening the wind angle up to the sail. But we're constantly wanting to breathe. Just about every situation, the most common reason for going slow on a boat is oversheeting. Oversheeting a Gennaker, oversheeting a mainsail, oversheeting a Genoa, yes. Yeah, less so with a headsail or a jib or a headsail, but it depends on the speed. It depends on the wind speed. So we just constantly let it breathe and then bring it back in. Now we're really dying. What's happening, Knut? Yep, we've got to head up because the wind's come aft, so he's got to head up and fill my sail because my sheeting him won't do that. It's being shadowed by the main. So keep heading up, Knut. Let's hot up. So you might hear us say this, hot up, which is going hotter, meaning we're going to increase the apparent wind speed. Let's go more, Knut. Even more, another 10 or whatever degrees, because we're going to increase the apparent wind speed and make my job harder. That's a good angle there. That's about as much as I'll be able to trim to, because that's on the apparent wind, that's a beam reach. Okay, we just had a conversation with someone else. That's a broad reach on the true wind. Oh, yeah, beam to broad. Anyway, that was a different conversation I had. Now, the lighter the wind, the higher you can sail with a Gennaker. The heavier the wind, the lower you sail with a Gennaker. So you'll probably be sitting in 25 knots, we'd be down at 120. 120 would be about the highest I'd dare to sail with the Gennaker. Probably more like 140 in 25 knots. Whereas in 10 knots, 8 knots, we could sail up to, you could potentially sail up to 90 degrees. Now the trick to that though, is